A few days ago, I did a post complaining about how Halo Infinite's campaign looked like garbage. It's blurry, it's jagged, it just doesn't look right. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to show because I've never encountered a game that looks so ugly. Now, with that said, I touched on the performance, but I never really did an in-depth video on that. This time though, I'm going to do an in-depth video because the performance for Halo Infinite's campaign is atrocious. Now, my system may not be the best spec system in the world, but it's more than capable of running Halo Infinite campaign, but for the life of it, this computer can't run it. So what are the specs? A Ryzen 5 5600G, I got the processor maybe 3 to 4 days ago. It's a fairly new processor for me. 8 gigs of RAM, a RX 6600 XT with 8 gigs of VRAM. Overall, it's a decent mid-tier spec system. It can run every other game I got at 1080p, everything set to ultra or max, whatever the game has for max settings. And it can run those games at the very least a constant 60, but usually above around 80, 70, sometimes even 100 to 200 frames a second, depending on whatever game I'm playing at any given time. So, this computer, for its specs, it's fairly powerful, especially for what I'm asking it to do. And yet, it can't play the Halo Infinite campaign worth a damn. Now here's the kicker. The multiplayer, it runs completely fine. It stays at lock 60 to 70 at 1080p max settings. The very first part of Halo Infinite campaign runs flawless 1080p with an internal upscaling to 4K. But the instant I hit the open world, the frame rate dies. It goes into the 20s. It's rendered unplayable. The game looks like garbage. The performance, again, just dies. And no matter what amount of settings I try to do to fix this issue, does not resolve it. I can't do anything to get this game into a playable state once I hit the open world. So when it comes to this video, it is going to be long. The recordings are going to be 5 minutes long. Now, if Halo Infinite's campaign, I gotta actually figure out how exactly I'm gonna cut everything together. Because I'm recording for 5 minutes of the campaign where I'm actually at the very beginning. And then most likely what I'll do is stop at 5 minutes. And then I'll hit record again right when I hit the open world section of Halo Infinite's campaign. And you'll see the major contrast. And at that point, I don't know what else to say. There is one more thing though. My father, out of the kindness of his heart, mainly because we've been going through this video card crap for a year now, bought me this very nice Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 2021 edition. This is the newest revision of the Zephyrus G14, and it's a beast of a laptop. In certain instances, this thing's more powerful than my main desktop. Let that sink in. This thing's more powerful than my desktop in certain instances. And even this thing can't run Halo Infinite. And this thing has very good specs for a laptop. Here are the specs for this laptop. I just got this thing, so I'm having a real hard time remembering its actual specs. But this thing is a monster when it comes to laptops. Now, yes, there are bigger and better ones out there, but for my needs, this one's perfect. But like I said, even this thing can't run Halo Infinite's campaign right. Now, just like my main desktop here, if I go to play the very beginning of Halo Infinite, this laptop will run it completely fine. But the instant I hit the open world, the frame rate also just dies. So I gotta figure out how exactly I'm gonna record on this thing too, since I don't know how to utilize NVIDIA's little in-game recording. I think I'm just going to use my camcorder here. Reason being, NVIDIA's capture software doesn't actually register Halo Infinite as a game. Let that sink in for a second.
We can't go. Anywhere while that stasis beam is active.
Then we shut it down. Stasis beam, weapons, all of it.
What? How will you get back?
I'll figure something out.
Eliminate? Chief, whatever you're planning to do it fast.
The demons alive! He's wiping us out! We've gotta find him to survive! It's him! Brooke! Someone tell the Brooke! I'll still kill ya! Somehow! I'm gonna shoot. It's go time, human! I'll show them! Ain't no good! Run back! Don't be scared, Spartan! I'm sick of you pushing us around! No, no! Green Man is here! Kill him before he gets away!
His example. We do not bow.
That hologram.
We do not need.
It's Atriox. He led the attack on the Infinity. He was looking for something. He killed everyone.
I know. We met.
Atrium showed us the way. Together.
Let's get violent!
Invincible. We are the Banners. Impossible. Your eyes deceive you, brother. He's aboard the truck in this very moment. You're broken. Stop it! Atriarchs. These actions normalize. We stand together. Rise, Venice! You are about to die! Your shield! The honor of your killing will be mine! Even Atriarch kill him!
I don't think I really need to restate this, but I'm going to restate it again. Everything up until the part where you get to the open world section of Halo Infinite looks great. The frame rate is fantastic. The game itself is beautiful. But the instant I hit the open world, it just turns to crap. Both the visuals of Halo Infinite and the frame rate. I still don't know what the cause of this issue is. It shouldn't even be a thing. There's clearly some type of porting issue with 343. I don't know how to fix it because I'm not a developer. But their port to PC is hot garbage. So I'm close to where I start the open world segment. So when I get back to the open world or start the open world segment, I'll start an in-game recording again. But like I said, right now, the game looks beautiful. The frame rate is fantastic. It's completely playable. But the instant you hit the open world, it ain't no more.
I repeat, multiple banished craft are converging on your location. They're coming for you.
Sierra 117. Understood.
I've been trying to reach you. You vanished. I thought I was on my... Okay, I got your location. On my way. Be ready.
Another Silex. But this one's open. What do you think was in it?
Another problem.
Why so cynical? It might be something good.
Trust me, it won't be.
What if Tremonius needs our help against the demon?
How do we get out of here?
Terminal, over there. Just give me a second. I should be able to get control from here.
So Tremonius has fallen, a victim of the Master Chief's might. Do not fool yourself. He was not the best of the banished, not by any measure. It occurs to me that we have not been introduced. I, of course, know of you, Spartan.
Wow, look at this place. It's so... full of more monsters coming to kill us.
You're gonna need to hear me somewhere to land.
Incoming.
Fast, Spartan.
Earn more kills than your opponents to win.
Incredible performance, Spartan.
Ground vehicle en route. A gift from the heavens is inbound. How tragic for them.
Fantastic work, Spartan.
How satisfying.
Ooh, they can't stop you. Incredible performance, Spartan.
Well, as you saw, no matter what I do, the instant I hit the open world of Halo Infinite's campaign, my frame rate dies. I go full potato, and the max I can get is like, what, 47? And the game looks like crap. Granted, the game still looks like crap at 1080p, everything native of 4K also, as you saw the internal upscaling. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I'm not a coder. I'm not a developer. But I do know one thing for certain. There is something wrong with Halo Infinite campaign. And the fact I'm seeing basically no one talking about it is very appalling. And then again, most of the Halo fan base is coping hella hard. And most people that aren't having issues usually have like 3080s and 3090s or are playing on the consoles. But yet, as you saw, the multiplayer plays completely fine. I think we all know where Server 3's interest all went into. They didn't polish a campaign worth of shit for PC. They polished everything for the multiplayer, and the campaign was just a second thought. 343, you're nothing but incompetent. Proven time and time again. So I'll give them like 6 months before they fix this. I'll be surprised if they actually fix it within a few months, but this shouldn't even be a thing in the first place.
様、汚らわしいよそ者の分際で。あ我慢も必要ってことね。いくら私でも我慢の限界よ。お母様、お母様。手間を取らせないでちょうだい。我慢も必要ってことね。ドラゴンを前にしてネズミが逃げられると思って？
Since I'm downloading Flight Sim 2020, I thought I'll bring out the laptop here and record the laptop portion of this video. And I have to re-download the stupid campaign on my laptop because even though I told it to download the 60 gigs of data, apparently only downloaded 47. So even though it says in the Xbox store 60 gigs, and I downloaded 60 gigs, it somehow went to 47 gigs. I don't know if I need to blame Microsoft or 343 for this, but this gets real annoying real fast. Like I said before, I don't know how to properly get NVIDIA's in-game recording software to work with Halo Infinite, hence why I'm doing off-screen recording. But settings for this laptop here are 1080p native. As you can tell, I set the minimum frame rate to 60, that way so I can at least try and achieve that, but I'm not going to. And for actual graphic settings, I have everything set to high. I can set it to ultra, but it really doesn't matter, and for what this laptop is, it looks fine on high, but it still doesn't negate the severe frame rate issues and just general overall performance. Now, the only reason why Halo Infinite looks a little bit better on this laptop than on my main panel here is because both these panels are 1080p, but this one's smaller. So this one has a higher pixel density. That way, so all the jaggedness and whatnot isn't as atrocious on this screen as it is on this screen. But yet, other games look nice and clean in comparison to Halo Infinite on this monitor. So like I said, there is something wrong with Halo Infinite. I don't know what it is exactly because like I said before, I've never experienced a game with these type of issues before. So I don't know how to properly explain it. But it seems to have finished downloading, so give it a couple seconds. And I should be able to load back up to my save. This save should be to my main save, which is where I saved last on the original part of this video, so I'm going to be out in the open world. So it's probably going to take a little bit to load, so I'll come back. Okay, this is interesting. My laptop here is actually getting 50 frames a second. Okay, that's interesting.
Wow, look at this place.
It's dropping into the 30s, 40s.
Coming to kill us.
30s, 40s, 30s, 40s. Stop shooting me, cunts! Suicide! Oh, I didn't take anyone with me. Interesting. My laptop here is actually more stable and playable than on my main desktop. That is very interesting. Now, as you saw in the previous recordings, all my other games ran completely fine. The only other game that came close to Halo Infinite was AI Soju. But of course, that one's, let's be fair, a Japanese hentai game. That one is using Unity Engine 4, and since it's a hentai game, it's highly detailed in certain areas. So it puts a bit more of a strain on the GPU than this game here. But yet, all the other games ran completely fine. And yet, on here, I'm actually getting playable frame rate. Now, if I do this and unplug it from the wall, what? Okay, now it's going back to what I thought it was. Wait, what?
Place. It's so full of more monsters coming to kill us.
Oh, there we go.
You're gonna need to carry somewhere to land.
Interesting. I run this on battery, and the performance is real iffy, but when it's actually wanting to play nice, I actually get better performance on battery than I do with wall power. How does that make any sense? Okay, let me plug this back in again.
Wow, look at this place. It's so full of more monsters coming to kill us.
You're gonna need to carry somewhere to land.
Incoming.
Okay. Explain that to me, 343 Industries. Why does my gaming laptop have better performance on battery power instead of wall power with Halo Infinite? Please explain that to me. I fucking dare you to. Explain that bullshit away. You fucking can't. So, this is interesting. I don't know how exactly I'm going to go through this video now. Because I have about like maybe an hour or two worth of recording to edit together. Granted, about, well, actually probably like, about like an hour or so. And this is my first time actually taking a deep dive on Halo Infinite on my laptop here to see what the performance is like. And I'm confused. So most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this video that you're currently watching right now as its own individual upload. This video will be up first before the main course video, which is going to be like an hour or so long. So when it comes to AI Soju, it may be a hentai game, but at the very beginning of the game, there's nothing that's actually part of what makes that game what it is. So it's completely YouTube safe. So yeah. So like I said, 343 Industries, explain yourself. I would love to see it. Alright, so I put everything into the timeline and it's over an hour or an hour long at this point. So I'm going to forego the Flight Sim 2020 footage because, let's be fair, Flight Sim 2020 will run completely fine on my system. Now that said, I play Flight Sim 2020 on this system where we're at, like, I believe 1080p high. I can probably go 1080p's ultra, but 1080p high still yields decent frame rate and it looks just fine. So that'll very much be an end to the video and whatnot because, well, I think an hour-long video showing 343's incompetency is all that's really necessary to prove my point.